Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Old Southern Kitchen and Garden. I'm Dale,
I'm Chuck.
and here we hope to bring you a mix of cooking, gardening, and just Southern hospitality. Our style of cooking, I would say, is country Cajun soul food. What would you say, Chuck?
I would agree with that. I'm truly Cajun. I come from deep South Louisiana, near the Gulf of Mexico. And I grew up starting at about the age of 7 cooking Cajun and comfort food. That's what my family's used to cooking. That's the style I learned to cook in.
I did not grow up cooking. Everything I know about cooking, I learned from him. I wish we've known each other forever. So I think what it was about almost 25 years now.
Right.
We met and moved in together, and our first shopping trip to the grocery store, I wish could have been recorded because it was two worlds completely different coming together. I remember on that first shopping trip, I am a huge lover of mashed potatoes and gravy. Gravy flows
Isn't
through my
everyone a lover of
veins.
mashed potatoes and gravy?
Yeah, but probably not as much as me, especially the gravy part. But I told him on that first shopping trip, one of the things that I loved was mashed potatoes and gravy. So I went and got me a box of Idaho potato flakes for making mashed potatoes and gravy because that's all I'd ever had. He comes back with a bag of potatoes, and I'm like, what are those for? I thought mashed potatoes only came from that brown box.
And I had never had boxed potatoes. My mom always peeled the potatoes, boiled the potatoes, heavy cream, butter, everything mixed into it. I didn't know where he was coming from.
Another thing from that first shopping trip was spaghetti. My spaghetti had always come from a jar. I didn't know that you made spaghetti sauce yourself without opening a jar.
I had fresh tomatoes, bell peppers, mushrooms, garlic, everything that goes into a tomato sauce. Really, totally two different worlds, but along the years, I've got him into making stuff that is not pre-prepared, not easy to make in the sense of cooking, but is delicious.
I have learned some stuff from him in the kitchen. Now, gardening, we are starting our first garden this year. We did just practice this past winter with some things that I guess are called winter crops, things like lettuces and spinaches. I have already planted garlic, but that's something that's going to take, I think, from my understanding, 9 months to actually produce, and you get something from the work you put into it. I've never really gardened in my life. I know Chuck has some sort of garden history with his dad. Want to
Yeah,
tell
my
him?
dad always had a garden growing up. It's something that I reaped the benefits from, but never really put in the work to get it. He would grow tomatoes, squash, zucchini, eggplant sometimes, bell peppers, and banana peppers. So I've always had a garden in my life, but I never actually put the work in to get the produce from the garden. The most I did was pick tomatoes, picked bell peppers, and used them to cook.
And I can tell you, his dad was an awesome cook. That's
He
probably, I
taught me
believe, where
everything
he
I know.
learned so much from. Another thing, because I have a memory, I guess they say like an elephant or whatever. My first trip to his parents' house, they made gumbo. Now, being from central Louisiana, our gumbo is chicken and sausage gumbo. Being Cajuns from down south, they do seafood gumbo.
We have 50 different gumbos we do. You can literally make anything into a gumbo.
So I remember Chuck made me this big bowl and sat it in front of me, and I was like, what the hell is this? There's stuff in there that has eyeballs on it, and it's looking at me. I'm not eating that
It wasn't
stuff.
fish eyeballs, it was crab. It was He's making it sound more of a horror story than it actually was.
Well, to a guy who's used to chicken and sausage, which that gumbo has no eyeballs in it, to be served this plate of stuff that was delicious and I grew to now love and want. Seafood gumbo at the time, it was a shock because I couldn't get over the eyeballs looking back at me. But anyway, it was a great meal, and it's one of the many things he has taught me how to cook over the years.
And through the history of this channel, I will make seafood gumbo for you. I'll probably make chicken and sausage gumbo for you, okra and shrimp gumbo,
And
along with stews.
lots of gravy for
Lots
mashed
of gravy.
potatoes. Yeah. So, did you want to talk anything about the gardening aspect of the channel?
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping to take you along the journey of first gardening, from the first things that we actually plant to the seeds that we reap, showing you the successes, which I hopefully we have more successes,
Lots of.
and even the mistakes that we make, just so that you can learn from our mistakes. I know we've spent probably the last year watching some of the most popular YouTube channels and some of the YouTube channels that a lot of people haven't heard of yet, but have taught us a lot.
Yes.
So hopefully through this channel, you can learn what mistakes not to make, what you can do to make a great garden, and reap the benefits of our lack of knowledge and the knowledge that we do have.
And just get some good old Southern hospitality.
And along the way, we might even take you through the little town that we live in. It is the home of Steel Magnolias, Natchitoches, Louisiana. It's a great Southern town to grow up in, to, as for me, just move into and live in.
And I grew up here.
So we can take you along the sites, the Walk of Fame, where Steel Magnolias was filmed, the downtown area, the Christmas festival. There's a lot that we can show you from the area of the country that we're bringing you.
And also, not just this town, but all the small towns that have all their own festivals and their own, unique things that make that small town, special. So, hopefully, you'll come along for all the adventures we take, and you will subscribe to the page and like the video and say hello down in the comments. Let us know where you're from. Give us any tips on gardening that you may have. Send in suggestions or ideas of good old Southern recipes you want us to cook for you on the channel. But as far as this first video, just say hello down there. Tell us where you're from. Introduce yourself, because again, we are all about manners and Southern hospitality. So we look forward to you coming along. Did you have anything else to say?
No, that pretty much sums it up. Hopefully we'll see you again and get to know you as you get to know us.
Yes, and thanks for stopping by.